Hi everybody and welcome along to Ashfieldlfc for my first episode of Liverpool Memories. We're going to take a trip down memory lane on this show for the next couple of shows and talk about the great moments of Liverpool which I've lived through in the last 27 or 8 years, and some of the worst memories. Today I'm going to look at two things today. We're going to look at the 2005 Champions League campaign, where we won our fifth European trophy. And if I remember, so we can sort of go back and sort of relive the moments, we had I'll probably say some pretty hard fixtures in the knockout stage of the Champions League, to sort of pick out a few of the games. We drew Juventus at home in the knockout stages of the Champions League. I remember it really well. We come into the game against Juventus, and it was let's be honest, it was a very, very good Juventus team back then, with the likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Pavel Nedved. A lot of stars are in that team then. I mean, I remember going into the game that night. I think it was a Tuesday night. Scott Carson, if anybody remembers him, he was in net that night for Liverpool. Pull off an absolutely wonderful save at 1-0 from Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So the game started. We were underdogs, as pretty much we were for the entire tournament. I think we got a corner inside the first 7 or 8 minutes maybe, and it was flicked on at the near post, and Sami Hyypiä hit it on the half volley past Buffon. And I remember Anfield erupting. I mean, I wasn't there, sadly, because I was watching it at home. I remember me jumping around the living room thinking, oh my God, we're beating Juventus, because we were underdogs, and that wasn't supposed to happen. I think it was the first time we played Juventus since the Heysel disaster. I think before the game we put the cop put out some signs. I think it was like a sorry or something along those lines, or something for the Juventus fans. I'm not quite sure exactly what he said. I just know there was a presentation before the game from the cop. And then I remember Sami Hyypiä scoring in the first 7 or 8 minutes. And we just started well. We were on top. We went at them, and Juventus couldn't really live with the pace of us. And then I remember a ball just coming onto the wing. I think it might have been Baros might have headed it on. I could be wrong. To Luis Garcia, and it just dropped quite nicely, and he just hit it on the half, and he absolutely sort of woof. It went straight over Buffon's head, and I remember the commentary saying that's 50 million pounds worth of goalkeeper could do nothing about it, and it went straight over his head. It was an absolutely worldie of a goal by Luis Garcia, and we should have really put the tie to bed in the first game. I remember having a lot of chances, and Buffon made some good saves, and I think Juventus got a header. Was it? Could have been I think it might have been maybe Cellini, or it might have been Cellini maybe headed it on. I could be wrong again. I said it's such a while ago, but I don't know if it took a deflection that went straight in, and we won the game 2-1, and we went back to Juventus, and I think we got a 0-0 draw over there to put us through. And I just remember people saying, well, you've knocked Juventus out, you will go for the next round. And we played Bayer Leverkusen in the next round, which was quite an easy tie compared to Bayer Leverkusen was pretty good back then, to be fair. It turned out to be a pretty easy tie. We went through there quite well, and then we got to the semis, and we played Chelsea. Now, there were two legs. The first one was at Stamford Bridge, where we drew 0-0. I think Jan Rees had a really good chance in the game as well. I think, let's just give you a bit of backstory for that season. We played Chelsea twice in the league. Joe Cole scored twice. We lost 1-0 at Stamford Bridge and 1-0 at Anfield. So we were coming off the back of Chelsea literally just winning the league as well. They just won the title, their first title in a lot of years. So we played them at the first game at the Bridge. Very quiet, very cagey. Not a right lot of chances in the game. But then they come back to Anfield. I remember, and like I said again, Anfield always rocking on Champions League nights. And I remember it was a really beautiful day, actually, to be fair. I remember it started at 7:45, as the Champions League used to start at 7:45. It's all 8 o'clock kickoffs now. And I remember it was still quite light. The sun was sort of going down when the game started, and Barros went through and was taken down by Petr Cech, and then Luis Garcia hit the ball and Gallas cleared it off the line, but there were no VAR then. So it sort of went on the linesman decision. The linesman did give the goal. The ghost goal, as they call it now. We'd never know whether it. I don't think to this day he probably didn't cross the line, but we never know because there were never the greatest of angles then. There wasn't what we've got now, where you could see the ball across the line, so it was always quite difficult. I do remember if the goal wouldn't have been given, Petr Cech would have been off because he brought down Milan Baros and Chelsea would have been down to 10 men. So I think the referee maybe just saved the game, maybe, with not sending Petr Cech off and giving a penalty. So I think they give the goal. And I think we got absolutely battered in that game as well. I think Chelsea had so many chances to beat us. There was one right at the death where Good Johnson put a body. I think the ball came into the box. Dudek punched it out straight to Good Johnson, who hit it, and it just whistled past the post with Drogba putting his knee out to try and catch it for it to go in. It just went by his knee, and the whistle blew, and we finally won, and we've got to his first Champions League final since the 80s. They spoke to Mourinho after game, and one of his favourite lines: "The best team lost." Maybe the best team did lose, but I think there's always something about Liverpool and Anfield nights in Europe where they seem to just step it up, and I don't know how they do it. I think is it maybe that the fans just push them on. The 12th man, which pushes on to the final. Now, the Champions League final, let's look at it another way. Liverpool had a very, very average team back in 2005. We had Steven Gerrard and Xabi Alonso, I would probably say one or two main men. Alonso just signed that season with Garcia. Rafa Benitez was his first season. At the start of the season, in pre-season, Rafa Benitez got rid of Michael Owen and he went to Real Madrid. And I just remember at the beginning of the season thinking, why have I sold Michael Owen? And we had Djibril Cissé playing for us then. We had Neil Mellor. We had Cinema Pongol. We all remember... Well, I suppose we can't talk about the Champions League 2005 without talking about the Olympiacos game, can we? We had to win by 2 clear goals that night. Olympiacos scored early on with a Rivaldo free kick at the Kop end. And I just remember thinking, that's done. We're going to be in the UEFA Cup. But then a little light came on. We brought Neil Mellor on. I think we brought Cinema Pongol on in the second half. Mellor got one just halfway through the second half. And then Cinema Pongol scored. And I just thought, just maybe, but time were running out and we were getting to a stage where all hope was lost. Like, we're going to be in the Europa League. Europa League now, UEFA Cup back then. And then Neil Mellor headed one on, cushion out, as the comment says, a lovely cushion header, and then Gerrard, bang, and it went in like an absolute rocket into the corner. And I suppose we never looked back after that. And like I said, we went on, beat Juventus, Bayer Leverkusen, Chelsea, but that was the point where the Champions League just changed for us. I mean, we struggled to get out of the group. that year. I think we had Monaco, Olympiacos. For the life of me, I can't remember who the other team was. But it was a tough group for Liverpool anyway at that stage. But like I said, we didn't have the best of teams. If I could just maybe try and run through the team that we had Dudek in goal, Jimmy Traore, Carragher, Herpia, Yonana Risa, Xavi Alonso, Luis Garcia, Milan Baros, Steven Gerrard, sometimes Hamann, Vladimir Smica. Do you know we had? They're not all. There wasn't all world class players, but they did the job. And I think we never really had a great Premier League team with them, but the team was built for the Champions League in some ways. If I could say that they performed better in that than they did in the league. So you get to Istanbul and coming up against a Milan team full of stars, full of world-class players, and it's that old saying of how many Liverpool players were getting that Milan team, and probably at that time you'd probably say Steven Gerrard, but even then, I mean, some of the names, I mean, Dida, Serginho, Kaká, Jaap Stam, Maldini, Gattuso, Shevchenko, Hernan Crespo. Do you know, a lot of absolute stars. Pirlo, a lot of stars they had. Cafu, I think, played as well that night. I think he did actually. I could be wrong. Jean Dahl Thomason. They had a lot of stars. An absolute bundle of stars. And you've got little old Liverpool with not the greatest of teams going there again, underdogs again. Milan, I think was it Feyenoord did they knock out to get to the final? I could be wrong. I think it could be in Feyenoord. As I said, it's just such a long time ago now. But so we got to the final. We conceded a goal inside 60 seconds. A half volley by Maldini. And that set us back so early in the game. And I'm thinking, whoops, here we go. It's going to be a long day if we don't get it sorted out. And we really struggled in that first half to come to terms with Milan's play and the passing. And then they scored again with Hernan Crespo. Shevchenko had it on one of the wings and put the ball across the face of goal. It went past everybody. Straight to Crespo and just with sort of an easy tap-in. You're 2-0 down to Milan in the final. A great Milan team. Let's not get that. Let's get that out there. And Ancelotti being the manager as well. And then just before half-time, Kaká put an absolute peach of a ball into Crespo. So I don't know how he did it. He sort of dinked the goalkeeper with the outside of his foot, and it just sort of bent round him and went into the corner. I remember I was sat in my next door neighbour's house watching the game, and my sister said, "You'll come back. You'll come back in the second half." And I must have shouted it so loud. I said, "Are you mad? How are we going to come back from this? We're 3-0 down. How are we going to come back from this?" And I just remember watching when they're speaking at half time, and you could hear the Liverpool fans all singing "You'll Never Walk Alone." And they went back out panned out back onto the pitch for the second half, and they're all still singing it. And Milan were really quiet. The Milan fans were really quiet, but all you could hear was the Liverpool fans. You'd think we were winning. Harry Kewell went off at half time with an injury, and Vladimir Smica, Hamann came on, Smica came on as well. And the game just changed from there. We scored about 7 minutes or something. We scored 3 goals. I mean, it all started with Reese's crossed in the box and the Gerrard header, and he just turns to the crowd and throws his arms there. Come on, we're still in this. Trying to get the crowd going, and also try and get the players going as well. Second goal, we played the ball down near the Milan box, and it just dropped to Hamann, who just flicked it to one side to Smeets, who hit it. And Dida's massive. Let's remember, Dida is a big goalkeeper, and it just went straight past his arms into the corner. 3-2, game on now. And I remember listening to Steven Gerrard saying when they got the first goal that Milan seemed to go, and it was like they didn't know what to do. And then there was a little bit of play between Baros and Gerrard went through, just about to pull the trigger, and Gattuso downed him from behind and brought Gerrard down for the penalty. And then we're thinking, wow, we could be level here. Then I'm thinking, right, Gerrard's going to step up as he's been doing from the penalty spot, but Alonso took the ball and put it down, and you start looking from an angle, looking at Didier in the box, in the penalty area, and he's absolutely massive in that box. So you're holding your breath. Alonso steps up, Didier saves it, and he follows it up and levels it into the top corner, and you think, wow, it's 3-3. You know, a miracle. Miracles are possible. That's what I remember the Clive Tilsley commentary. Miracles are possible. Mission impossible is accomplished, and it was just an amazing feeling. 3-3, game on now. And then the game sort of trickled out in normal time, and it went to extra time, and suddenly we were under the cosh. There was a moment where Jimmy Traore went off the line, because Dudek, ball came into the box, Dudek tried to catch it but parried it straight out, and luckily Jimmy Traore was on the line and saved it from going in, and Carragher sort of turned to Dudek and said, come on, get your head in the game again. And then he pulls off one of the greatest saves I've ever seen. It could be I think it's just instinct. Ball got played into the box. I think it was by Serginho, and Shevchenko headed it down. Dudek gets down and saves it. It bounces back to him again, and he hits it, and his arm just pops in the air and saves it. And you're thinking, how has he saved that? How has he saved that? And it must have been just instinct, but it was so fast how he just went. He put his hand up so fast and saved it. And I thought, we got lucky there, haven't we? And then the whistle blew, and then it's penalties, and then you're thinking, well, anything can happen now. But it'd have been difficult if we'd have lost on penalties, just because of what we did in that 7 or 8 minute spell in the second half, and we got it back to 3-3. We probably should have been out of sight, really, you'd have thought. But the character we showed to come back in the 90 minutes and in the 120 minutes overall was absolutely outstanding. So we get to penalties. I'm looking at my sister and thinking, you could be right, we could do it. And we're all sat there waiting for penalties. So the first penalty, then Serginho comes up and smashes it over the bar. And you're thinking, oh God, he's missed. So he comes, smashes it over the bar. And you're just thinking, okay. And I think the first penalty taken for Liverpool was Hammer. Now Hammer missed in a penalty shootout before for Liverpool. But he's come up and put it away. And I'm thinking, right, here we go. We're in front. And then Pirlo stepped up and Dudek came way off his line. And it wouldn't happen now because he'd been told to retake it. But then he saved it as well. And he pretty much nearly stood next to Pirlo when he jumped down. So he saved another one. I think Vladimir Smicha stepped up next. It's very difficult to remember. I can remember the Milan penalty takers like that because I just remember thinking, oh my God. So I think Smicha was next. And he scored to make it 2-0. And then I think it might have been Jon Dahl Tomasson stepped up then and scored. to make it 2-1. It was almost a pin drop silence in the game when he'd scored. So 2-1. Then Risa stepped up, and normally Risa just puts his foot for it, but he chose to side foot it, and Dida saved it. And I'm thinking, oh no. And then I think the next penalty taker was Kaka. He came and smashed it into the roof at net, which sort of made it 2-2. I said Milan had already missed 2 penalties. And then Cisse came up and stepped up and smashed one into the corner. And then I think it was Shevchenko that was the last one to come up. And I'm just thinking, if he misses, we've done it. If he misses, we've done it. And it's an awful penalty by Shevchenko. He just literally strolls up and hits it, and Duda sort of dives one way but keeps his arm out and saves it from going down the middle, and that was it. The place went mad in the ground. All the Liverpool fans were going mad, and the players. And I remember sat in my mate's house jumping around, and just remember this, that the house I was in was full of Man United fans. So a Man United fan and a Chelsea fan and an Arsenal fan. You couldn't get more crazy than that. So, and then we did it. 5-time European champions. I said I'll always remember the final, because apart from winning the treble of the FA Cup, Worthington Cup at the time, and FA Cup, I've not really seen us win anything apart from that, them 3 games, them 3 trophies. But to win one of the biggest prizes you can win, and we were known for winning that competition, it was just amazing. Steven Gerrard lifting the trophy, and I was sort of thinking, if I don't see it again, I might never see it again, but at least I've seen it. I've seen us win a European trophy, and yeah, it was fantastic to watch. And then they did the parade round and around Liverpool city centre, as you do, and there were just millions and millions of fans there, and it was an incredible feeling for the fans and for the players, knowing that we've made history again, that we'd won 5, and back then we got to keep the trophy back then, because I think you'd won it 5 times, you got to keep the trophy. So I don't think they'll win the trophy and then they give the trophy back, but they'll keep a replica. But we actually kept the actual trophy, if I remember rightly. So yeah, guys, that's the first episode of Liverpool memories. Everything I've spoke about from the 2005 Champions League era, you probably already know anyway, as Liverpool fans. Please tell me what one of your favourite Liverpool memories is. Do you agree with me? Is that one of your favourites? It's right up there for me as being one of my all-time favourites. Just because we were underdogs for the entire tournament. No one really expected us to win. We finished 5th or 6th in the Premier League that year, but we went on and become 5-time European champions, and that's all I've got to say about that, really. And I said in years to come, again, like I said, we won it again a couple of years ago to make it 6. Like I said, I'll come on to that in later shows. But yeah, that was my first episode of Liverpool Memories, Liverpool's 2005 Champions League campaign. Please, in the comments, tell me your favourite Liverpool memories. I'd love to hear from you. The next Liverpool Memories episode won't be a nice one, as we're going to talk about the Steven Gerrard slip, which every Liverpool fan probably still has nightmares about. So that's going to be my next episode. So hopefully you'll all join us for that, and we can get the tissues out and have a good old cry about that, because it was a horrible, horrible moment. But that's in a later episode, but we'll concentrate on this. So yeah, 5-time European champs it was back in 2005. Thank you for watching this episode of Liverpool Memories. And we will be back with more episodes. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe and comment to Ashfieldlfc. If you're following us on Twitter, or you haven't followed us on Twitter, please do at at Ashfieldlfc. As I said, we're on YouTube, so please give us a like, subscribe to the channel, and we will be back for another Liverpool Memories episode next weekend. Thank you guys. See you later.